All right. Hi, Mom. Hey, we're recording this not to go and sell on eBay. We're actually doing this so I don't have to repeat this about 8,000 times for the people who aren't here today. So we're recording. Everybody wave.
Hi.
It's really funny you all just waved at the same to me. It is Saturday morning. Okay, so this morning we have this nice little Safe Child thing, which all of our good Presbyterian people are going to go and pass out now. The whole point of the Safe Child policy, it is a thing here at the church, or anybody that is working with the kids, the youth, etc. This is something that we force them to go through. Since you're dealing with the awakening, you are working with teenagers, which means you need to go through this as well. So for some of you who I have seen on team before, this is all review. Some of you who have worked with the kids here at the church before, this is review. If it's new to you, then woo! That's way. Are you guys awake? I mean, seriously, if I have to preview today, y'all are asleep. That's not cool at all. Need more coffee. Get right on top of that. All right, so once you get this, I'm just going to run through this. You don't have to have the book in front of you as I'm running through this, but on the very front of this thing, policy guidelines. Really, number one really just kind of says what I just told you. All staff volunteers regularly deal with children. They're screened through references, criminal background check, and part to the application process. What that means is we're going to give you, all of you actually, I think, have this nice little, what color is this? Vanilla?
Ivory.
Ivory. I'm a guy. All right, you got this nice little ivory sheet, which we are going to ask you to sign this, print your name, date of birth, that sort of thing. This is not a fundraiser for the youth group here. This is so we can run you through the nice little system that we do for all the background checks. This is pretty much going to only flag you if you have a criminal background with kids. So, if you don't want to turn this into me, come talk to me and I'll get you to do it. How are only like 2 of you getting that? That was funny. Oh my lord. Okay, number 2. Really doesn't apply to any of you. Yeah, number 2 doesn't apply to any of you. Number 3, staff and volunteers will have training on this policy and other matters. Dealing with children, safety prior to conducting duties, etc., etc., etc. This is pretty much your training session, so you're supposed to take this seriously. Please show me your serious face.
I was just wondering.
Lame. Hey, cool it. All right. This is pretty much your annual refresher too, so anybody that did this last year or anything, this is your refresher course. Congratulations. This is huge. Number 5. People, I'm telling you, this is youth ministry. You need to safeguard yourself in this area. Guys especially. Chicks, I don't know if it's still big with you, but there's a 2-person rule. What this is really saying is anytime a kid comes to you, I don't care if it's guy, girl, whatever, opposite sex, figure that out on your own. If a kid comes to you, you need to have somebody else in the room with you, especially if you are alone in private. I can't tell you, I've been doing this for over 10 years. You need to have somebody else, or you need to be in a public place to talk to them. It means do not go into a room of seclusion. You go to a place that's got open doors with open watch and everything else. That way if a kid makes a claim against you, it's taken care of, okay? So please, do not be in a situation that's beyond your control. Have a 2-person thing with you at all times, all right? Any questions with that? You're trained. Number 6 has nothing to do with you unless you're watching my son. After 3 visits to an activity, no, that doesn't apply to you. The adult ratio thing, we have a few adults, so we're good. Bathroom visits, if you need a partner to go to the bathroom, you're probably a girl. Somebody with diapers. If there's someone who needs diapers, that is an agape issue. Just saying. Number 10, children with special needs will be afforded the same protection as any child would receive. Pretty much people, if there's a kid with special needs, it means there's going to be extra help needed. So please, stay with them, etc. Okay? All of this stuff is very common sense. If you need common sense, come talk to me, I'll give you some. Number 11, other groups and organizations using FPC are assisting in its ministries and their Safe Child policy. If that organization has no policy, and the FPC Safe Child policy must be complied with, which means this is the reason why we're doing this. You're complying with the Safe Child policy since the church sponsors it, etc. Number 12, off-site and overnight activities such as, well, the awakening must be approved by session. It's already taken care of, so we're moving on. 13, for each off-site or overnight activity, signed parental permission slips must be provided. That means all those little awakening forms, that's their parental permission slips, if I'm not mistaken, yes. The board's not here to answer that, so I'm going to say yes, that's what it is. So don't worry about that. It's not your issue. Number 14, if the overnight activity is co-ed, there should be 2 males and 2 females supervising the respective gender sleeping areas. This is not an issue if you've been out to Shangri-La, what is it called? Right. If you've been out there, you know that we have more than 2 adults in this sleeping area, so you'll be able to tell that by the snoring. Number 15, there is no substitute. Please take this, highlight it, whatever. Get a pen, highlight the common sense issue. There is no substitute for common sense. Contrary to public opinion, common sense is not dead. If you're in a situation where you have to go, what would the Safe Child policy say? That means you're in a bad situation. So, please, pay attention to what's going on. If you are in a situation where you need to know, you need backup, you need to figure out a certain way of taking care of things, please come talk to me. I'm not hard to find. Seriously, look for the glimmer. So, rock on. I'm loving you already. The bald guy. Okay. Pretty much discipline policy. You shouldn't have too many discipline problems with the awakening stuff. If you have discipline issues, that's why I'm on team. But seriously, there are ways of dealing with this. Parents, this is really honestly a good thing for you to look at too. The discipline issues, just take a look at that. I'm not going to read through this. You guys aren't second graders. So please just look through that. I mean, it just talks about modifying the environment, trying a different approach, etc., etc., etc. Use duct tape. Definition of sexual abuse. Okay, this is when we have to get serious. If there any point in this weekend, and seriously people, been in youth work, this is a lot bigger of an issue than many people will realize. Dealing with sexual abuse. If a kid comes and talks to you about how they have been hurt in some way sexually, you need to come talk to somebody who's trained to take care of it. Which in this case would be me, Pastor Joyce, or he's not here. Where's McCoskey? Okay, Chuck is not here, which you'll get to know Chuck over the course of the next week. He is a trained counselor. Us 3 know how to take care of this stuff. So please, if you get into a situation where like with that and dying moments is huge. You guys know how all this stuff goes. If a kid comes to you and tells you that they have been hurt in their homes, etc., you need to come talk to us. Yes?
Tanya Haleshire is also, you can go to her. She is on team.
Okay.
And she is trained in that as well.
So you have, seriously, this is tight. You have 2 men and 2 women that can take care of this. So take full advantage of this. This was intentional. So please, you will, some of you will run into this during the weekend. You need to know what to do. You need to come find one of us. Again, I am not hard to find. If you can't find Joyce, find me. I have a Joyce radar detector. I will find her for you. Seriously. Okay. What to do if, oh, this sounds really funny. I was reading this last night and laughing at it. The very last part, what to do if you see the Safe Child policy being violated. You are not to be the safety patrol. Please, if you have minor complaints, such as Joyce's shoe is untied, I think that's a safety violation. Please do not report to me about the Safe Child policy. You need to come to me if there's an obvious flaw in the Safe Child thing. If you see somebody that's in a room with a kid alone, that is something you need to come talk to me or talk to somebody, lay director, something about so we can safeguard ourselves against having that. But please, this is a very common sense thing. Just pay attention to what's going on. Don't get yourself into a corner. I feel like I'm repeating myself. So, is there any questions? Wow, it is Saturday morning. Yes, Joyce?
Those blue folders, or those blue sheets can go in your folders, and we could use those again next year when you turn your folders back in, and we won't have to reprint them. So they're handy for you, and they'll be handy for someone else as well.
That is correct. Thank you for bringing that up. Is this on? All right. So, again, if you want to read through that, please do. Don't do it while people are previewing. That's just rude.
Pass those ivory forms
Yes.
right back here to Karen.
Please, before you leave today, you do need to have, oh, and this is for you watching too, you need to have this filled out, signed, and turned in to us before you leave today. Who's collecting these?
Right now, Karen is.
Karen or Matt? Matt, sorry, volunteering you. Anybody, if you have this, fill it out, turn it in to one of the lay directors before you leave, okay? We'll tell you if you fail. That was a joke too. Lame. Okay, so, yes, who?